When I first stepped off the plane in Manila, I remember the warm tropical air wrapping around me like an embrace. I wasn't sure what to expect. I had heard stories about the Philippines, about its beaches, about its culture, about its people. But nothing prepared me for how quickly I would fall in love with this country. Why is the Philippines the best country for foreigners? The answer is layered. It's not just one thing. It's a mix of its breathtaking natural beauty, its affordable way of life, its culture that blends East and West, and most of all, its people, who welcome you like family. The Philippines isn't just a destination. It's a place where you can belong. And that's not something you can say about every country in the world. Let's begin with the land itself. Picture this: turquoise waters that stretch endlessly, powdery white sands that feel like flour beneath your feet, and islands that look like they were painted by the gods. The Philippines is home to over 7,600 islands, each with its own unique charm. There's Palawan, often called the last frontier, where jagged limestone cliffs rise dramatically from crystal-clear lagoons. There's Boracay, with its legendary white beach, once ranked among the most beautiful beaches in the world. There's Cebu, a blend of cosmopolitan city life and tropical escapes. And then there are lesser-known treasures: Siargao, Batanes, Camiguin, places that still feel untouched, raw, and magical. For a foreigner, nature here feels limitless. You don't just vacation, you live inside a postcard, hiking volcanoes like Mount Mayon, diving into the Tubataha reefs, chasing waterfalls in Iligan, or swimming with whale sharks in Oslab. The Philippines gives you adventure after adventure. But what's truly remarkable is that you don't need to be rich to experience it. That brings us to another reason the Philippines is the best country for foreigners: affordability. Life here is far less expensive compared to the West. A meal at a local eatery might cost less than a cup of coffee back home. Fresh tropical fruits, mangoes, pineapples, bananas, can be bought at street markets for just a few coins. Rent for an apartment with an ocean view might be what you'd pay for a small studio in Los Angeles or New York. Even medical care and services are affordable, making the Philippines one of the top retirement destinations in the world. But affordability is only half the story. The other half is the culture: warm, vibrant, and deeply human. To understand why the Philippines feels so welcoming to foreigners, you have to look at its history. For more than 300 years, Spain ruled these islands, leaving behind Catholic traditions, fiestas, and even Spanish surnames. Walk through Manila and you'll still see colonial churches, cobblestone streets in Intramuros, and towns that echo Spanish architecture. Then came the Americans. After Spain ceded the Philippines at the end of the 19th century, the U.S. established its presence here. And while it was a complicated period of history, one undeniable legacy remains: the English language. Unlike many Asian nations, where English is learned only later in life or reserved for professionals, the Philippines made English part of the foundation. Schools were set up with English as the medium of instruction. This decision changed everything. Think about it. Spain had been here for over 500 years. Yet it was the Americans, here for only a few decades, who left the most lasting influence on language and communication. Today, the Philippines is the third largest English-speaking country in the world, after the United States and India. That means, for foreigners, communication is effortless. You can land in Manila, or Davao, or Cebu, ask for directions, and almost anyone will understand you. You can make friends without language being a barrier. You can conduct business, travel, and even fall in love without needing a translator. And the Filipinos? They take English seriously, sometimes too seriously. It's almost endearing to see how much they care about speaking proper English. In fact, many Filipinos joke about discriminating against themselves when they mispronounce words. You'll hear someone laugh at their own accent, or tease a friend who mixes Filipino and English, a hybrid they call Taglish. But beneath the jokes is pride, the pride of being able to connect with the world through language. This is one of the biggest reasons why the Philippines feels so accessible to foreigners. Whether you're here as a tourist, an expat, a retiree, or even just a digital nomad working from a beach cafe, you'll never feel truly isolated. The ability to communicate creates community, and community creates belonging. But language is just one layer of the culture. There's also the personality of the Filipino people. And if you've ever met one, you'll know what I mean when I say, they are some of the warmest, most hospitable people you'll ever encounter. Filipinos have a phrase, "It's more fun in the Philippines." And it's not just a slogan, it's a way of life. They laugh easily, they sing karaoke passionately, whether they can hold a tune or not. They'll invite you into their homes for a meal, and you'll sit down to feasts of adobo, lechon, sinigang, and lumpia, dishes that are both comfort food and a reflection of their history. Even in hardship, Filipinos shine with resilience. Typhoons may come, earthquakes may shake the land, but Filipinos somehow find a way to smile, to pick themselves up, to help their neighbors. For a foreigner, this resilience is inspiring. It makes you want to stay longer, to learn from them, to become part of the rhythm of life here. And then, there's something that surprises many foreigners, the fascination Filipinos have with the outside world. American culture in particular has always captivated them. From music to fashion, from Hollywood movies to basketball games, there's a sense of connection with the West. This fascination doesn't make the Philippines any less Filipino. It actually creates a bridge, a point of connection that foreigners immediately feel. It's common to meet Filipinos who are curious about you, your background, your traditions. And they're not shy about it. They'll ask about your family, your country, your way of life. For foreigners, this curiosity feels flattering, like someone is genuinely interested in knowing you. And often, these conversations lead to friendships, relationships, even marriages. Yes, marriages. Which brings me to another unique reason why foreigners love the Philippines, the potential to find love here. Many foreigners, whether from America, Europe, or even Russia, find themselves drawn not just to the beauty of the islands, but to the beauty of its women. Filipino women are admired for their charm, their warmth, their family-oriented values, and their effortless balance of tradition and modernity. They are raised in a culture where family is the center of life, but they also grow up speaking English, watching international films, and dreaming about the wider world. This combination makes them appealing partners for foreigners. There are countless stories of foreign men who visit the Philippines and end up finding their lifelong partner here. And it's not a one-sided story. Many Filipino women are also curious about foreigners, about their personalities, their cultures, their lives abroad. Sometimes they believe foreigners may offer stability, or a different kind of adventure, or simply a love story that feels larger than life. I remember speaking to a woman in Cebu who said, "I like foreigners because they are straightforward. They say what they mean." She smiled shyly before adding, "And sometimes they are more romantic than Filipino men." It was half a joke, half a confession. But it's not just about romance. It's about connection. The same connection that makes foreigners feel at home in the Philippines. Whether through friendship, love, or family, foreigners discover that they're not outsiders here. They're welcome. So, why is the Philippines the best country for foreigners? Because it's a country that gives you both escape and belonging. It gives you paradise beaches and affordable living. It gives you a rich history and a culture that feels both familiar and new. It gives you people who laugh, sing, and love openly. And it gives you the gift of language, English, that makes it all accessible. I know this because I've felt it myself. As an American woman in her 20s, I thought I was just coming here for travel. I thought it would be about photos, about ticking places off my bucket list. But the Philippines has given me something deeper. It's shown me a way of life where community matters more than status, where joy can be found in the simplest moments, and where even a stranger from across the ocean can feel like she belongs. That is why foreigners fall in love with the Philippines. Not just for a week, not just for a vacation, but often for a lifetime. Because once you've been here, the Philippines doesn't just stay in your passport, it stays in your heart.